Hey guys, it's your girl Abby and I am back with another video. As you can probably see by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about 3 things that you might need to change. These are 3 things that might have control over your life and your way of thinking, and so I figured we would get on here and talk about them before they take hold of our life. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about is comfort. Now, the question I want to ask is, what do you find comfort in? Now, I know that can seem like a very broad question. What do you find comfort in? I don't know. I find comfort in eating ice cream. I find comfort in being around my friends. I find comfort in fill in the blank, right? But what I'm talking about in this particular context is, what do you find comfort in when you are uncomfortable? When you're put in a situation that is maybe new, that maybe makes you feel nervous or anxious, what do you find comfort in? It's important to take note of the things you find comfort in so that you can analyze if your habits, your routines are productive or not. And not in a sense of, we've got to be productive 24/7, but in a sense of, what are we doing maybe unconsciously? What are we finding comfort in unconsciously? A lot of us that are put in uncomfortable situations tend to revert back to our old patterns. And so, say for example, if you are someone that struggles with social anxiety, when you get put in social settings, you might go back to your comfort of maybe taking an extra drink or two, maybe just keeping quiet in large groups, in large settings, because that is what feels comfortable to you, right? What do you find comfort in when you feel insecure and you feel like, your confidence is dwindling? What do you find comfort in? Is it putting other people down? Is it comparing yourself? Is that what brings you comfort? Yes, they may bring us comfort in that moment, but are they actually producing something that is good and sustainable within us? Is it actually solving the problem that we initially had? Say, for example, confidence. Let's talk about confidence for an example. If you are triggered and feel insecure, we all feel triggered and we all get insecure. It's just a natural part of life. If your initial reaction is to put other people down, if your initial reaction is to compare, oh, well, I have this and they don't have that. Oh, well, I'm making X amount of money and they're not. And that's what fills your confidence and that's what brings you up. You might have to take a look at yourself and say, oh, okay, so I'm finding comfort in money. I'm finding comfort in success. I'm finding comfort in my physical beauty. These are the things that make me feel secure, right? And I say that with a question mark because, are these things really sustainable? Are these things actually what make us secure? Yeah, on the surface level, they bring our confidence up. Yeah, on the surface level, they fill our ego to the point where, we're not sobbing and crying when we feel triggered. We're not, completely broken in that moment. But when we talk about healing and renewing from an internal space, right, from the root of things, it doesn't come from comfort. It comes from actually looking at the things we find comfort in and saying, this actually isn't sustainable. I actually need to get to the root of this. Why do I find comfort in money? Is it because I don't think that I'm capable of success? Is that how I genuinely feel about myself, right? Why do I find comfort in my physical beauty? Why does that bring me a sense of comfort? Do I really think I'm beautiful? Do I really, have confidence from within? Do I think I'm worthy? Right? These are all questions we have to ask. And so the way that I have been able to kind of overcome these things is, 1, being aware, right? Taking note of the things that I find comfort in. And so when I feel triggered and I automatically, rebuttal with something in my head, well, I have this, well, I have that. I take note of that. Okay, so I'm finding comfort in money. Okay, so I'm finding comfort in beauty, right? And I take note of this, and I think a great exercise that you can do is actually journaling, right? Because when you put the pen to paper and you actually write things down, you're able to see it clearly and on a different level than what you would when you're just thinking about it. Another way of journaling, or the same type of exercise, is talking, right? I think venting and expressing these things to your friends or people that you trust is the same thing as journaling, right? Journaling is a way to express and release, and so is venting. It's expressing and releasing just on a verbal level. And so whatever it is that you find you're able to clear your mind and gather your ideas and thoughts and put them together, right? find a way to do that and go and do it and practice it. Make it a part of your daily or regular practice. The second thing I want to talk about is control. Now, I know whether you want to admit it or not, we are all control freaks inside. And how I know that we are all control freaks inside is because as a society, we are so obsessed and we have so many timelines that are attributed to life that there is only one explanation, that we are all control freaks. And this is something that I've had to sit with myself and realize and be humbled to, because a year ago, 2 years ago, if you would have told me that I'm a control freak, I would have been like, no way, I'm chill, I'm go with the flow. Meanwhile, I had all these timelines that I had to meet. I'm 25 years old, I need to have X, Y, and Z. I'm 30 years old, I need to have X, Y, and Z. If I don't have these things, then it means X, Y, and Z. As a society, we are obsessed with controlling our lives, and this is something that can honestly and truly hold us back. Now, hear me out, because I am not saying that there is anything wrong with a timeline, right? The timeline of having certain things before certain ages, that might be a really good goal to have. That might be something to aspire to. And if you attain it, kudos. If you are able to achieve those things, it's not a bad thing. And so I don't want to speak negatively about achieving certain things at certain ages, but I want to talk about the control. I want to talk about the obsession with it, right? When anything comes to a point of being obsessed, where we're fixated on it, that's when it becomes harmful. That's when it becomes an issue of control, where we aren't even enjoying the moment, enjoying life, living, because we're so obsessed with and so focused on controlling everything to get a certain outcome. You know, the most amazing thing about life is the uncertainty. You know, I know we hate to hear that. It burns a piece of me, because it's like, uncertainty? No way. Uncertainty? I cannot. I have to plan it out. I have to have it all figured out. No way. Uncertainty? No. Right? But that's where the magic of life happens. The magic of life happens in the things that we couldn't even envision for ourselves, right? But for some reason, we always think that the unimaginable, the unenvisionable is negative. We have this negative idea of it. If we can't think it, if we can't plan it and orchestrate it, then it's going to be bad. But it's like, wait a minute, who said that? Wait a minute. What if what if us releasing our control and leaving it up to the mysteries of life, the faith of life, God's plan for our life, what if that's actually leaving it for something better than what we could plan? We always think about negative. If I don't plan, then it's going to be bad. If I don't figure it out, if I don't do this by a certain age, then it's going to be bad. Well, what if it's not? Well, what if it's better than what we could think of? And so I think the balance is really of having an idea and a direction for where you'd like to go, but kind of loosening up on that timeline and kind of loosening up on all the little details and all the little things that you kind of blindly try and control, right? Ease up a bit, relax a bit. Allow the mysteries of life to play out a bit. And I know that's something that's way easier said than done, but it's kind of having that mindset shift, that perspective shift of like, I'm going to ease up and I'm going to release the control, because I know that there's something greater than me working. And I know that I might have an amazing and extravagant plan for my life, but if I give just a bit of my life, if I give the real reins of my life to God, the Creator, I know His plans are going to be better than my own. I know His creativity is wilder than my own. He is the creator of the universe. His creativity exceeds our own. And so the creativity that I have for my life and that I envision for my world, can you imagine what the Creator's vision is? Can you imagine what He has for me in my life? It's beyond what I could ever create. And so it's leaving that room, right? Just a bit of room for that mystery to unfold. Now, the very last thing that I want to talk about, and something that is dear to me in this season of my life, is acceptance. Now, I'm going to have a little honesty moment with you guys, and I hope that you do not judge me, okay? Don't judge me, honey, please. But this is something that I am currently working on. And so I wanted to share it because it's so important in the world that we live in today, acceptance, and not just acceptance as in self-acceptance, but acceptance of differences. What I find sometimes difficult is, or what I've been finding difficult in this season is like, okay, my life is my life and how I'm living it is based on my beliefs and my morals, but other people don't feel that same way. Other people don't have the same worldview as me. Okay, how do I operate in a world where I not only stay firm on my beliefs and the life that I am creating for myself, but how do I accept and truly love the people that are different from me, right? I think a lot of times we can create these wars and these frictions between each other because we haven't really adapted that acceptance piece, right? I don't have to have the same religion. I don't have to have the same worldview. I don't have to have the same culture to accept you, and vice versa, right? True acceptance where we can see each other for our differences, but still show up with love, right? Where we can see each other for we can see each other for who we are, and whether we agree with it or not, putting that aside and showing up with love. Because at the end of the day, right, the thing that makes the world go round, it sounds so corny, but the thing that makes the world go round is love. And the only thing that matters in this world, I know I sound super corny, but the only thing that matters in this world is love. And so whether I agree with you, whether I think whatever I think about you, how do I show up with love? How do I do it in a way where I'm not necessarily judging you and putting on this front of love, right? I want it to be genuine. I want it to be outpouring. And I think the way to do that is just by understanding what love is, right? Like, true love in its essence is, it goes back to the verse, right, from Corinthians. It's patient, it's kind, it doesn't hold grudges, it's always hopeful, right? It doesn't say anything about it is firm on its beliefs, it is strong in its love. No, it's patient in its love. It's not strong in its love, it's patient. It's kind, it's generous, it's, keyword here, hopeful, right? Doesn't lose hope and say, man, the world is full of hate and da 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 da. No, it's hopeful, right? And so it's cultivating a space within yourself of hope where that love can pour out, of patience, of understanding, where that love then flows, right? So then you can sit in rooms with people that don't look like you, with people that don't think like you, and still have that outpouring, right? It's so important to accept people regardless of who they are. It's accepting them on the basis of love. And so that's something that I am trying to understand and trying to truly cultivate within myself, because no one likes a person that is like peace and love. Because we can tell when something isn't genuine. We can tell when the love and the peace is just an action and doesn't come from a genuine place within, when it's just action based. There is no roots to it, right? We can tell, right? You know, the thing that I always tell myself is that we all know what love looks like. We all know what we're supposed to act like. We all know what goodness looks like. And so anyone can put on a front of it. Anyone can pretend to be loving, right? This goes for all situations because we know what it looks like. And this is the kind of self-reflection that you need to have, right? This is a space that I envision people are, you know, asking these inward questions because we want to genuinely be good and loving people. We want to genuinely put, you know, our essence into the world, right? That is what I hope this community is building, right? I hope this community is building people that genuinely want to have the love within themselves, not just show what looks good, not just show what looks like love. No, we want to have it within us and let it flow from there, flow from a genuine space. And so for that to happen, we kind of have to have these self-reflection moments and say, how do I actually change the way that I think and feel, right? Because if I change the way that I think, if I change the way that I genuinely feel, if I shift that kind of mindset and that perspective, then it can start to flow from a genuine place. Then I'm not putting on and acting in a way of love, but I am that love because it exists within me, right? And it flows from me. And so self-reflection is always a good thing. It's always like mentally taking note of like, okay, was that genuine? Did I really feel that way, or did I just say it because I know I was supposed to, right? No one else is going to hold you accountable for that. It's you that has to take the accountability and question yourself and do that reflection. because no one else can do it for you. Thank you so much for getting this far in the video. I am honestly so grateful for your openness to listening and your openness to discovering more about yourself and learning more about yourself and renewing, healing, whatever it is that you want to call it, being in this space of self-improvement. I'm honestly grateful because it's people like you that really make a difference in the world, and I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful that we get to do this together. So thank you again. You can follow me on my other socials at ABIGXRL, where you can see more of my little snippets and small short form content on Instagram and TikTok. But until then, until the next video, I will see you next time. Peace and love and goodbye for now. I love you guys so much.